Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN. Mark Tibbs joins me. I really appreciate you giving me your time. Mark, how are you today?
Thank you, Oscar. Yeah, I'm very good. Still feeling it from the weekend, but we gotta crack on.
Yeah, let's dive into the weekend. A tough evening at the office for Johnny Fisher. I spoke to him very briefly, but just from your conversations with Johnny, how is he?
Yeah, he's listen, he's down. He's going to be down, but he's very he's speaking of the build, the building it back. So he's speaking of the comeback. So that's very nice from him. He's got to take some time out, and he's got to take some time out to reflect and to digest what's gone on. And yeah, but he was. I'm not going to say in good spirits, but he's a positive guy. He's a positive guy, and he's a guy that is a go getter, and he looks forward to the future. And that made me feel good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just in terms of the fight itself, would you say Johnny started the fight exactly how you wanted?
Yes. Listen, our approach was to long Dave off for as long as we can, for as long as we can. But we would have had to get solid at times. And I believe he was doing all right, but he couldn't get solid and correct like Dave because he lacked that experience. His inside work was a little bit better than the first time. If you have a look at it again, it was a little bit better at time, but he did make a mistake, Johnny, a couple of times, and Dave smelt it. Dave smelt it. He dropped his left hand below his nipple. I said, "Don't let that left hand drop below your chest. That's the lowest it ever goes, so he can quickly fire it or defend it like." But he dropped it low. Dave went in close, bowled it over, and yeah. But that's an inexperience. Dave caught him for a couple of good left hooks as well. So Dave's got the flavour that he's never had in his life. He's getting money, and he's got responsibilities in that. But and also he's 33 years of age with a wealth of experience compared to Johnny Fisher.
Yeah, were you wary that Dave didn't seem to really throw anything in those opening 4 rounds? Like his output was low.
Well, his output was low, but he was slipping and sliding and gaining ground. So he ain't going to throw if Johnny's on the back foot throwing out the jab because he ain't. He wants medium short range punches. Dave, he ain't going to stay on the outside. So he's walked him down. You know what I'm saying? I wish he bloody would stay on the outside. Yeah.
Obviously, Johnny banked the first four. I know the fight ended in the fifth, but what was your game plan as the rounds went on?
Well, the game plan was to, as I said before, was to long him off for as long as we can and win the rounds. Long him off for as long as we can and win the rounds. And we'd have to have a fight at times, but Johnny couldn't just couldn't do that. And Dave stepped it up. Dave smelt that Johnny couldn't do that. I mean, Johnny could have gone out there straight away. Listen, straight away and held his feet with him and gone 50-50. But that's Dave's territory. You get me? Compared to Johnny, that's Dave's territory. I mean, and then I've got the blame for that and all. But no, Johnny took that rematch because of the fans, his fans. He took that, and you can only credit as well as crediting Dave for his punch perfect performance. You got to credit Johnny Fisher because not a lot of fighters out there would have took that. Johnny, I asked myself a question. He took it for his fans. He took it for the people, and you can only salute him for that. As I said before, yeah.
Yeah, boxing can be a bit of a lose-lose sport at times because there will be people perhaps criticizing the decision that, oh, this rematch was too soon, but also criticizing the fact that Johnny's gone into the rematch and had the defeat. So it can be a bit of a, like I said, a lose-lose of a sport and decision to make sometimes.
See, see. what it is, young man, yeah. He's set up a new home, yeah. He's got bills. I'm sure he's got a mortgage to pay, yeah. And people crying out for that rematch. The rematch, you know, doubled in fit, doubled, even more than doubled in value, yeah. So it might not have been there because Dave's had a volatile career. He wants to do it one minute and the next minute he don't. So we didn't know if the fight was always going to be there. And so Johnny never took that decision, the rematch, like willy nilly. He sat and thought about and discussed it with his parents and his manager. I'm sure. Well, I know he did, and therefore, yeah. So we gave it our best shot. We left no stone unturned, and Dave just got in a fraction more better condition and pulled off a fantastic performance. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that Dave's had a bit of a volatile career, and I know that from now on in,
When I
he's
mean volatile, I mean like up and down sort of thing. Because ever since he fought Dillian White, and we worked with him after, I could tell there's more. I've said this in interviews. There's more from Dave. I've chatted to his father up in Leicester on a couple of occasions when we was working with him in Leicester. He come back to the Peacock gym. He stayed down here for 3 weeks, and we hired him for sparring for some fight. And I was in the Peacock with him, and I thought, he's holding back him. You know what I mean? And of my life, he's holding back him. And
what was it that you noticed, Mark? Was there one specific thing that you noticed about Dave that made you realize there's something in there?
well, he's got all the shots and the manoeuvres. He knows how to ride and rock and roll. He's tough. Can't break him. He's hard to break. So therefore, you're off to a good start. You know what I'm saying? But when I was working with him back in the Peacock many years ago, probably 6 years ago now, I felt he was working within himself. Never come out of his comfort zone. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I've said that before in interviews. Before Johnny was going to fight Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was an impressive shot selection when you watch back the finish slow mo.
Yeah.
Just for you, the knockout comes horrible viewing for anyone, let alone those involved with Johnny. How is it watching that for you up close as his trainer?
Well, it's sickening. It's sickening because I know the dangers of the sport. You know what I'm saying? I know the danger of the sport. I've been around it for a long, long while, and I've been around and saw and witnessed how dangerous it is. So yeah, so it is. It was thingy, but But you've got to give them the chance. You've got to give them the chance. You know what I mean? I might have been a little bit on point, a little bit too late with that towel, but referee was there. I think beat me to it. But it don't matter. Johnny's healthy. Soon as I jumped in the ring after the towel went in, myself and the referee or a doctor got Johnny up, in a seated position. I was behind him. I was behind Johnny, but I whispered in his ear hole, "Johnny Fisher, who am I?" He couldn't see me. He went, "What?" Straight away. "What?" Doctor, let me do it. I went, "Who am I?" He went, "Mark Tibbs." And I thought, lovely. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that old sharp brain of his didn't switch off. But no, Johnny's done fantastically. Done his people and his parents and myself and my dad and the team at Origin, Sonny Cannon, a lot of us. He's done us proud, and we wouldn't have doubted anything about Johnny. But he can come back from this. He can be rebuilt. Yeah, he can be rebuilt. He's just got to take some time out and do it wisely. He's got a fantastic fan-friendly style. He has to learn to mix it up. Box, fight. Box your way in, box your way out if you have to, and fight when you're in, because he can fight. He can fight. But, I think 24, 25 years of age, if he's still in the business, in 3 or 4 years' time, and he's still got the hunger, the drive, he'd be a wiser, better fighter. Look at Dave Allen, for instance.
Well, I can't wait for the Johnny Fisher comeback, and I will add my piece by saying that it's an achievement in itself to have nearly, what, 9, 10,000 people, bums on seats, supporting you at the Copper Box. So that in itself is
Amazing.
an achievement.
Yeah.
I know Big John said that many people come to see Johnny in his dressing room, one of them being David Adelaide, I believe, who's obviously a British heavyweight rival of his.
Yeah.
Kind of tell us what was said there between Dave and Johnny. And obviously, David suffered a defeat of his own, his first professional defeat about 18 months ago.
Dave mentioned that, and he didn't say too much, but it was a very, very classy conversation from David Adelaide. Derek Chisora, even. Derek Chisora was wonderful, He said to me straight away, he said, "Why don't you call me?" I said, "We was international. We went abroad." He went, "I've got a passport." Do you know what I mean? But Johnny, yeah, he was just making talk sort of thing. But no, he had some good, deep conversations with Johnny. The pair of them did, and it was quite an emotional. It was emotional in that dressing room after that fight. I've got to say, it was sick. We were sick for him. And he was, obviously, you saw his interview, didn't you? It was emotional. Yeah,
he was a real gent in that interview, and Dave's been a real gent as well. Have they showed how boxers should behave in?
Absolutely. See boxers. People that don't know boxing, everyone goes to me, "Oh, what boxers?" I went, "Listen, all boxers, they're nice souls, beautiful people. I don't know any bad boxers, regardless of their reputation. As soon as you're in the gym, they're vulnerable and they're themselves. You know what I mean? But no, getting back to Johnny, we're gonna. I think we had a conversation last night. He's going to have some time out, some rest, but he sounded very, very, I can't say positive, but he was very positive about his rebuild, and that was lovely to hear from him. And I didn't doubt he would talk like that anyway. But it was nice. Yeah. But he's well.
Just finally on Dave Allen, I mentioned David Adelaide as well. Obviously, David's got the British title. I know there's a rematch with Jamie TKV there. If Dave Allen was to fight David Adelaide now, who would you have as the favourite, Mark?
You know what? I think Dave Allen, on that performance, he's got the experience to give everyone domestically a run for their money. And I'll put my money on him, Dave. You get me? He knows, he feels, he can smell. Yeah, he's just got it naturally because of what he's been doing over there since he's been a fighter. Yeah, and now he's got confidence and he's doing good, solid work with Jamie Moore, because that's what it takes. Someone to give you belief. Yeah, and he's got it. Listen, he's a trouble for them all. I'm telling you now, domestically, trouble for them all. What a position! I'm over the moon. Him or Johnny. I was hoping Johnny would have come across that border to put him in that bracket. That was our goal as his boxing trainer. That was my goal, to bring him to that level. But thinking back, it'll be a blessing in disguise, because he's 24, 25 years of age. He ain't strong like a man. He thinks he is, but it's different. There's mental strength. There's this strength. Do you know what I mean? And that comes with maturity. So, but Dave Allen, getting back to Dave is on that performance. As long as he's got the flavour and he's got them people around him, he's found it. So he's going to go and do very, very well for himself, and very well done to him. He deserves it. Yeah.